eagerly, personally looking forward to the presentations of all the educators from DPS Nashik. And I'm sure this is going to benefit all the teachers across the campuses, those who are teaching right from nursery to the senior classes, because we are going to see how confab that we call in Varanasi, it is called Sangamitra in Nashik. So we'll have a whiff of it, how we are doing it at Nashik. So over to the teachers.
Swati ma'am.
Thank you, Kiran ma'am. Over to you, Team Nashik.
Is
the slide visible?
Just a minute. I just wanted to know what it is called at Nagpur. It's Samurja at Nagpur. I just saw in the chat box.
Shall I start, ma'am?
I started presenting the screen. I hope it is visible to all.
Yes,
It is visible.
Shall I start, ma'am?
Please.
मित्रों के संग किसे अच्छा नहीं लगता, मित्रों के संग किसे अच्छा नहीं लगता। सफर कितना भी हो लंबा, जल्दी कट जाता है। पहले ही कालांश में ऊर्जा से हम भर जाते हैं। खेल खेल में जीवन के मूल्य सीख हम जाते हैं। शिक्षक के संग दोस्ती के बंधन में हम बंध जाते हैं। हमें सिखाना, हमें समझाना, मन की बात बताना, ये सब पहलू संगमित्रा में ही आते हैं। संगमित्रा केवल कोई खेल नहीं, गुणों का खजाना है। इन गुणों को आत्मसात कर हमें उज्जवल भविष्य को पाना है। इन गुणों को आत्मसात कर हमें उज्जवल भविष्य को पाना है। सभी को शुभ संध्या। यहाँ उपस्थित सभी गणमान्यों को मेरा हार्दिक अभिवादन। डीपीएस नासिक और अन्य डीपीएसओ की परंपरा को निभाते हुए आइए सत्र की शुरुआत मेडिटेशन से करते हैं। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि आप अपनी आंखें बंद कर लें और अपने मन पर और अपने सांसों पर ध्यान केंद्रित करें। धन्यवाद। ध्यान धीरे से अपनी आंखें खोलें। आइए सत्र को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि तीनों स्कूलों का अपना एक विजन है, वैसे ही डीपीएस नासिक का विजन आपके सामने है। इसमें दिखाए गए गुणों को हर विद्यार्थी, हर छात्र अपने अंदर समाहित कर सके, इसके लिए हम कई तरह की अलग अलग गतिविधियां करते हैं। यदि इस विजन के अधिकतर एट्रीब्यूट्स को पाना है और यह देखना है कि विजन के कोर वैल्यूज को विद्यार्थी आत्मसात कर सके, तो उसके लिए क्या उपाय हो सकते हैं? जी हाँ, बिल्कुल सही सोच रहे हैं आप। संगमित्र, हम इसे कई नामों से जानते हैं, कॉन्गलम, कॉम्फैब, समूर्जा। संगमित्रा एक ऐसा प्रयास है जिसके चलते हम छात्रों में सोशल, इमोशनल, कॉग्निटिव, स्पिरिचुअल, फिजिकल, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, डिसीजन मेकिंग, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, ऐसे और ऐसे ही कई सारे गुणों का विकास होता है। लेकिन जब भी हम किसी एक एक्टिविटी को करना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए योजना की आवश्यकता होती है, और यदि ये योजना बेहतर से बेहतरीन हो तो कार्यान्वित करना आसान हो जाता है। और बेहतर प्लानिंग तभी बन सकती है जब किसी भी एक्टिविटी के उद्देश्य हमें स्पष्ट हों कि वो कैसे किए जाएंगे, क्यों लिए जा रहे हैं, कौन से प्रश्न पूछे जाएंगे, इन गुणों का विकास होगा और ये सारी अन्य बातें इसमें समाहित होती हैं, जैसा कि आप इस लेसन प्लान में देख सकते हैं। संगमित्रा की एक एक्टिविटी जब कक्षा में ली जाती है तो उस कक्षा में कितनी देर ली जाएगी, किस तरह से संपादित की जाएगी, रिफ्लेक्शन प्रश्न कौन से होंगे और उस पर्टिकुलर क्लास में बच्चों में इसकी वजह से कौन से गुणों का विकास होगा, ये सब लिखा होता है। इस कारण एक शिक्षक के लिए बहुत आसान हो जाता है कि वो जैसा प्लान किया गया है उसी रूप में इसे कक्षा में प्लान करें। आइए अनुभव करते हैं संगमित्रा की विभिन्न गतिविधियों को।
बैठे बैठे क्या करे, करना है कुछ काम, जल्दी से उठो और भागो, ले आओ 2 आम।
किस दुनिया में हैं आप मनीषा मैम? इस मौसम में आम कहाँ से मिलेंगे?
कोई बात नहीं मैम, आम नहीं है तो ले आओ टमाटर, गाजर, खीरा या प्याज। कुछ भी नहीं है तो ले आओ 2 नींबू, वो तो होंगे ना मैम।
अच्छा, तो आज आप संमित्रा के इस सत्र में हमें सलाद बनाना सिखाने वाली हैं।
नहीं मैम, खाना तो रोजी की बात हो गई है, आज हम कुछ और करेंगे। So, I request all the energetic participants here to run, go to the fridge and grab any 2 veggies. If you don't have them, you can get any other 2 objects. You can even get 2 eggs, but at your own risk. Okay? Your time starts now.
मैम 2 आम।
Oh, great, Poonam ma'am. Come on, teachers.
पूनम मैम, आम और इस सीजन में?
यस मैम।
आम तो टमाटर लाइए मैम।
Manisha ma'am, tomato.
Great, great. Okay, Swati ma'am, can we just stop the presentation so that we can see all the participants here? Thank you. So, अब आप सोच रहे होंगे कि इनसे क्या करना है. What you have to do is, you have to juggle these objects for 30 seconds. Swati ma'am, please keep a check on the timer. Yes? Is everybody ready here? I can't see the cameras on. Please show me what 2 objects have you brought. Great. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to juggle this for 30 seconds. Okay, and your time starts now. Come on, everybody. Come on, yes. Okay, we have not yet finished with 30 seconds. Swati ma'am, are you with the timer? Okay, okay. Yes. Great. Great, everybody. So, what a fun it was, isn't it? Juggling brings joy, a dash of flair, with balls and club dancing in the air. Each toss and catch, a moment of grace. In the world of juggling, I have found my place. It's not about how many balls you juggle. It's all about the joy and the progress along the way. How did you feel after the juggling session? Did any particular emotion stand out? Come on, give me your reflections in the Mentimeter. I request Swati ma'am to share the Mentimeter link in the chat box. Please write it in the chat box, teachers. Sorry, in the Mentimeter. The link is already shared by Swati ma'am. Yes, Preeti ma'am, you want to say something? You raised your hand. Swati ma'am,
it's by mistake.
Okay. Swati ma'am, can we have the Mentimeter responses on screen?
Just a minute, ma'am. Waiting for some more responses.
Okay.
I'm sharing the link also. Yeah.
So were you excited? Was it challenging? Did the juggling experience leave you feel more confident or accomplished? How did juggling bring a sense of relaxation? Did it affect your mood? Please put on your excited, fun, happy, joy, happiness, thrilled, amazing, engaged, relaxing, struggling, yes, engaged. Oh. So thank you, dear teachers, for your responses. So with all your responses, let us set the tone for the day. So we all felt happy. So the tone for the day today is happiness depends on ourselves. This was an example of physical investment. Such activities are conducted to reduce stress and promote overall well-being. Engaging in physical activities help children grow strong. Look at this hula hoop activity. It increases attention span, stimulates brain, improving memory and concentration. Activities like tug of war, arm wrestling demonstrates the strength and teamwork of the opposing teams. Physical investment is needed for development of both gross and fine motor skills. It establishes a foundation for a healthy and active lifestyle in adulthood. As children achieve milestone, they gain confidence in their abilities. Now let's move on to the next investment. Over to you, Suparna ma'am.
I hope everybody is ready with a cup of coffee or a tea or a beverage, as it has already been so obvious with the photograph that we have something related to our beverages. So please show a thumbs up if you are ready with it. Great.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jai Hind, everyone. It was really a fun and engrossing activity. It's setting a tone for the session. Hope you all are witnessed in today's agenda to be ready with a cup of tea or coffee. Are you all ready with the beverage? Can you lift up your cups and show, everyone? If yes, thank you. If yes, then let's begin with drinking meditation. As these beverages help us to relax our body and mind, it cultivates Mother Earth, it reduces stress, it gives me time, it relates you to emotional experiences. As mango shake reminds me of my childhood, tea reminds me of my mother preparing tea for me, cold coffee reminds me of my college days. Now everyone sit in a comfortable position and place the cup in front of you on the table. I hope all are ready. Now I want you all to look at the beverage, whatever you have placed on the table. Describe to yourself, can you see inside the cup? What does the liquid look like? Notice the color. Is it bright, dull, or dark? Now I want you all to hold the cup with both hands as I am holding it. If it is very hot, be careful. Just feel the warmth of it. And keep looking inside the cup. Have you ever felt a cup of tea or coffee like this before? Most of us will say no, as we are always in a hurry to finish it. Try to show your gratitude to your family member or yourself for bringing the ingredients for preparing it. Now take a sip and feel the fragrance and the flavor of your special tea. Thank the people who help you to get this flavor. Now, I want all of you to take another sip of your beverage. And with each sip, focus on the flavor in your mouth and be thankful to all of them. It shows how in everyday action we can enhance our skill of mindfulness. I will be very happy to see all the mindful cups or mugs of emotional drink on the screen. Thank you everyone for being with me. To reflect, you can give your response in the chat box. You can finish your tea, coffee. Did you enjoy this drinking meditation? What was the difference between today's morning tea and now evening energy drink? Do you think this mindful drinking should be done on regular basis? At least we can do once in a week. You can give the responses. Did you enjoy the drinking meditation? What was the difference between today's morning tea and now evening tea or coffee? Do you think this mindful drinking should be done on a regular basis? Let me check the chat box. Yes, thank you so much. Morning, we are in hurry. It was wonderful. Okay, wonderful to taste. Thank you so much, teachers. Okay, felt the warmth and the aroma. Yes, we should have it on regular basis. Really, we enjoyed when I enjoyed today bringing tea with all of you. Okay, I'm sure we all were together with a tone which was set in the first activity. Yes, can one of you unmute and speak? What was the tone? You can finish your tea. Yes.
May I?
Yes, ma'am, please.
I think the tone was to stay happy throughout the day.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. Good evening, everyone. May I have a next slide, ma'am? Bird's Eye. Rings a bell? This was the dramatization on the famous story of Arjun and Dronacharya. Young Dipsites experienced how being focused and determined made Arjun one of the best bowmen. In the next picture, as we all can see, children are engaged in mindful walking. Very rightly said, you can observe a lot by watching. In this activity, children were asked to take off their shoes and take a walk on the lawn, observing the ground. And I believe the concentration of the children are much visible here, isn't it? Yes. Now let's move on to the next slide. Here we can see a beautiful picture of time capsule. This was an interesting activity introduced to us by Sir, and we carried it out with our children. Here they are writing a note to self that they will communicate after 15 years. Imagine what kind of thinking and ideas would have crossed their mind. They are enthusiastically putting their notes in the capsule with all positive emotions. The next picture is about pot of kindness, a simple activity conducted where children prepared a jar of kindness and expressed their gratitude towards each other. And in the third picture, as we can see, there is a children doing pebble meditation, similarly to what we witnessed with guided meditation just moments before. This was pebble meditation, where children bought pebbles and colored them according to the memory they recollected with that particular color. And similarly, in our middle wing, we did spin wheel meditation. Yes, you heard it right. Children were asked to bring props so that they create a wheel. As they made it spin, they had to meditate. Look closely for the same to the picture on your right top. Yes. And similarly, activity was conducted in our senior wing 2, passing the happiness. Children were given a cup quarterly filled with water. As they filled their partner's cup, they had to mention one of their good qualities or learning which they have gained from them. Thank you very much.
Now it's time to delve into the mysterious world of encoded messages and solve some linguistic puzzles. We will provide the clues and you have to decode them into proverbs within 10 seconds. There are 4 different proverbs in the form of gibberish. You have to decode at least 1 out of 4. If you read them fast, you might guess it right quickly. So now I would request Swati ma'am to put up the second slide. Now, once you get the answers, kindly type the answers in the chat box and your time starts now.
Where there's a
Put it in the chat box, please. Write the answers in the chat box.
where there's a will, there's a way.
No, the second one I got from Paramjit ma'am. The second gibberish was correct. Congratulations, Paramjit ma'am.
Action. Second one, action speak more louder than words.
Exactly. Poonam ma'am, you're correct. But kindly, I request you to type the answers in the chat box. Keep on trying. If you read it really quickly, you can guess the proverbs. So, ma'am, you can try. It is oak there. It is ire there. Yes, Sucheta ma'am got the last one correct. Poonam ma'am got second one correct. Yes, we have done with the timer. So I just want to, yes. Priscilla ma'am, you could go a little bit further. You're very much near. Anybody for the first one?
Where there's a way, there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way.
It's oak. It's oak. The third word is oak. I'm giving a hint. And last one is ire. Wow. So the timer has been played twice, so I have to stop. So the answers are where there is smoke, there is fire, actions speak louder than words, beat around the bush, and better late than never. So wonderfully played by teachers. Like I said, Ekta ma'am tried several times. Poonam ma'am got the correct answer for the second one. Congratulations, teachers. Even Sucheta ma'am did it right. Wonderful. When you are decoding the words, how did you feel? Now, again, put your thoughts in the chat box. Was it stressful? Even though it was stressful, was it enjoyable? Was it engaging? Come on, put your thoughts in the chat box now. Interesting. Wow. Exciting. Yes. Challenging. Engaging. Wow. Engaging again. Yes. Yes. Engaging, challenging. Thank you, teachers. From your responses, I can conclude that the entire process was engaging, enjoyable, and enthralling. Would you able to relate this feeling to the tone of the session that we have just said today? Whatever you have to do, happiness will be there within you. If it is a yes, please show me thumbs up. Yeah, I can see there so many Gitanjali ma'am, Pamjit ma'am, Archana ma'am showing their thumbs up. Yes, exactly. So while decoding the gibberish, you all were analyzing the words and thinking critically to derive the proverbs. Thus, in this activity, we have fulfilled the cognitive investments.
Good evening, everyone. Now we'll see the next slide. It talks about a lot of interesting activities wherein we focus on developing the cognitive skills at our school. In this picture, as you can see, our tiny tots enjoy the mistakes with the sprinkles of water. Don't you feel that the learning is fun when they enjoy the falls? Swati ma'am, next slide. In the next activity, our students are acting as a builders and they're engrossed to build the towers without making the mistakes. As we move further in the next slide, here the students had to draw the abstract things by putting their brains to work. And you all see how focused they are to complete the task. And as we move further, the next picture shows the zeal and the enthusiasm of our students while crossing the hurdles to complete the activity. In this way, we cater to cognitive skills for different age groups across the school. Thank you.
Wow, that was a wonderful, massive involvement of the students. I'm sure both teachers and students had great fun. A very good evening to everyone. Now I shall discuss about, last but not the least, social investment of Sangamitra. Social quotient isn't something you're born with. It can be cultivated and improved. It's an essential skill for building meaningful relationships and fostering cooperation. For centuries, people were under the impression that intelligence of people depend only on IQ, that is, intellectual quotient. But a famous professor of neuroscience from Harvard University, Howard Gardner, in his book Frames of Mind, stated that there are other dimensions of intelligence also, which are equally important. That is SQ, the social quotient, EQ, the emotional quotient, and AQ, the adversity quotient. So, in social investment of Sangamitra, we focus on enhancing the SQ of a child, but in a playway manner. So, on this note, are you all ready for the next activity? That is, spot the differences. Here's how the game works. All the attendees should divide themselves into two teams. Team 1, the pre-primary and the primary wing of all the schools, DPS Nashik, DPS Nagpur, and DPS Varanasi. Very soon we'll be joining with DPS Hinjewadi Pune also. And Team 2, the middle wing and the senior wing of all the schools. If my instructions are clear, just give me a thumbs up. Great. Now, we will share a picture on the screen for each team. It has two images. There are 10 differences between them. Look at these two images, spot the differences, and mention on the Padlet. Swati ma'am, please share the Padlet link in the chat box. Great. Now, picture 1 is for team 1, that is pre-primary and primary. And picture 2 is for middle wing and senior wing. But remember, there's a time limit. You just have 1 minute to spot the differences. If we are clear with the instructions, just give me a thumbs up so that we can begin. Are we all ready? If you have any queries, oh, great. Now, I would request Swati ma'am to present the first picture. It's already there on the screen. This picture is mainly for primary and this is only for rather primary and pre-primary wing. Ma'am, please give your responses in the Padlet. Only 45 seconds left. Oh my God, the time is running by very fast. Yes, I can see some responses. The responses should be only on the side of primary and pre-primary wing, that is image 1. That is the color of the bag, yeah. Time's up. Great. Swati ma'am, if you could please present the Padlet. Great. So the first is the color of is in the sky. Pick one has 3 birds and 1 white stripe. There are differences in the board. Absolutely correct. Then we can also see 1 flying bird is missing. Absolutely. We could make out 3 differences. Then bag is striped. Correct. Bag is different. It's a common one. Bag color, again, it's a common one. Ship color, that's the fourth one. Great. Cabins in the boat, absolutely. 5. And purse design, done, ma'am. This is already done. So by and large, we could come out with, I have missed certain, just primary bird is there. One bird is not flying. That's all done. Swati ma'am, if you could share the referral slide that reveals all the differences. The next one, please. Yeah, so we can make it out. There are total 10 differences. A very good try by team 1. Now we come to team 2, that is the middle wing and the senior wing of all. Now I'll just clear the responses on the side of the middle wing and the senior wing. Please add your responses on the Padlet. The same link is shared with you. Your time starts now. Great. Middle wing and senior wing is very active. I can see many on the Padlet link. Keep going. We are running with the time. It's only 36 seconds left. And time's up. Now, let's check the responses. Swati ma'am, please share. Great. The first one is lamp on the table. Absolutely correct. That's the first thing. The second one is the pot plant. Correct. 2 differences. Third one, flower pot. That's the same one. It's missing. The vase, it's again a common one. The color of the pot. This is the third difference. The color of the pot. Fourth one, the shirt color. Absolutely. Area of the pot visible behind the lady is in blue dress. Let's check it out. Yeah, absolutely. Then the coat color. So they make it to the 6th and even the 7th one. Top design in the glass pan. Absolutely. So the winner team is middle wing and senior wing. Swati ma'am, thank you so much. But if you could show the referral slide. So, did you people had fun? Please give me a thumbs up if you people had fun doing this. Wow. So, another question. Was it engaging? Were you engaged doing this activity? Yes. Great. And just think of it. If you were alone to spot all the differences in the same time limit, was it possible? Or you could do it better when you were together? Reshri ma'am says no. I would look forward to the responses from Atta. Wow. Rita ma'am says teamwork. Gitali ma'am says together. Sangeeta ma'am says no, it was not possible if we were alone. Great. So that's what is about Sangha Mitra. Sangha means Samaj. Mitra means friend, that we are friend of our society, that we are friends, we all are working together. And if we teach this skill to our students, I think they'll really rock for their futures. And now, based on this, I'll just present before you all the different slides which show the journey of the investments or journey of the activities of social investments conducted in our campus.
Good evening, all.
Thank you,
The
everyone.
slide presented in front of you is from the pre-primary wing. The two activities, balancing the book and Friends Forever. Yes, as the title reads, kids are balancing the books. They held on to each other to successfully pass through those curvy hurdles. Friends Forever, as you see, these friends are stuck together and they are refusing to let go their friends and trying to maintain on that very single sheet. Swati ma'am, next slide. Primary wing, we had activities conducted like show your talent and draw a tail to dino. Definitely, draw a tail to dino is a twist, with a blindfold, and you can see in the picture on your right to the down there. Okay, kids are enthusiastically and excitedly helping the friend representing their team to mark the correct, point where the tail starts. Middle wing, and this activity talks about how kids, every kid is a treasure chest of talents, and each kid was very much enthusiastic to, or charged up to showcase what they have, but just it is just not that kids were eager to teach it to their friends. So that is what the activity is called. This is how it's done. For senior wing, we had caterpillar race. Believe me, this race had nothing to do with the speed. Your challenge was to form a human chain by keeping one's elbow on the partner's shoulder. Sounds weird, right? But trust me, it was fun maintaining the chain and walking to the end, marked end. Scavenger hunt is the next picture that we display. This is the image of the group who was the first to complete the task. It was a hunt to collect specific an assigned number of items present in the school. Children were highly engaged and organized as they collected 12 dusters along with a pair of white chalks. As we move forward, Swati ma'am, next slide. As we move forward to what is called a cluster Sangamitra. After doing such amazing activities and creating wonders in our classroom, we thought of coming up with something interesting. Having all the sections together and have fun with the cause. First activity on the slide is invite the kick. Yes, children invited their friends from the other sections for a football match. They started their day with the words of motivation and encouragement for their respective teams. The image on the right is of the activity Be the Shape. This was a timed activity wherein they all gathered together to form assigned geometric shapes. The representative was selected by the choice of the children and followed his or her instructions to complete the task. This cluster Sangamitra is called Roll the Ball. This cluster Sangamitra made students first discuss the strategy, as the challenge was to roll the ball without letting it fall. Fun, right?
Reflecting on our learning journey is like using a compass to ensure we are on the right path. Let's hear from our students why they're always charged up for the Sangamitra activity now.
I like Sangamitra because it is fun learning. Like the importance of being a good listener and the importance of being in a team. And in the morning, if we play games, it will make our day unstressful.
So innocent words. Just he used that the morning will be so unstressful. That is so true. The children will be charged up just to have fun, to work in team. And he also quoted the word that we work in team, and also to bring up with to increase our listening skill. How we are going to listen to the instructions of the teacher, how we are going to play the game. So this is what
they like. This is what the Sangamitra, like why they love the Sangamitra is all this. It's in front of you all. Now here we have the insight and the reflection on the Sangamitra activity from our teacher.
At DPS Nashik, the day begins with Sangamitra activity. It is a beautiful way to energize the students. It imparts moral values among students. It builds relationship among students as well as students and teachers. It is a way to develop concentration and help the students be in the present moment throughout the day. At DPS Nashik, the day begins with Sangamitra.
Parents do play a crucial role in supporting both child and his learning. Now let's find out what do they feel about Sangamitra. Swati ma'am, next video please.
Hello, good evening everyone. Today I'm here to give you a feedback on Sangamitra activity. First, I would like to introduce myself. I am Amrita Sachin Kotwal. My daughter Nyanada Sachin Kotwal is studying in DPS in 1C division. So I have attended one Sangamitra activity of water spray, where teachers have very effectively implemented the activity of water spray to correct the students or to make them realize the mistakes they are doing while giving the answers. So I honestly feel that activity is very assertive, and teacher conveyed their message or corrected the students in a very positive way. So it is a very good way, rather than scolding or punishing the students, or they might get hurt by scolding or during punishment. So it is very positive activity, and they must carry it forward also. So thank you so much. That's all.
See, this is how the people, different like parents, student and teacher, have reflected on our Sangamitra activity. Before we end towards our last part, okay, I want everybody, if you have any questions, please, after watching all this, experiencing all our activities, and if you have any questions, now we are open for your questions before I take your reflections. Team, if you have any questions to any segment or regarding any activity, now you can write in the chat box or you can raise your hand for your questions. Now we are open for your questions.
Great. I think really well presented by the Nasik team. Some very, very interesting activities, especially the ones I think on the sports field where children had to make shapes and they were playing a game of football. I think those are some things that children will really treasure, and there's a lot of learning, definitely, a lot of team building. I also really like the ball passing activity where children had to strategize. Even the caterpillar was something which was very, very interesting. So really glad to see that. Anybody has any questions? I have one. So I see that you guys have about 20-25 minutes on a daily basis for an activity like this. Do you see that time being a restriction if you have to take the class outside for a Sangamitra activity? Anybody who wants to answer that? Yeah, anyone can take that up.
Yes, sir. Sometimes, but if we plan accordingly, for example, if we have to take them to the garden, so we will choose which will be the nearby one. Like, for example, in the pebble meditation, the students have to go and collect the pebbles and then they have to color. Okay, priorly, then what we will do is like the instructions will be clear and crisp. So in our planning, we will just plan according to that. Either we will minimize the activity, like the time, we will manage the time with the activity and with the instructions, then it would be possible. For example, Sorry, sir. That's how we do. Anybody who would like to answer this?
Yeah, I think Swati wants to say something. Swati, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Many a time, 25 minutes doesn't look like enough time. So whatever has to be done, that was pre-instructed. In the previous day, we inform students that what are we going to do tomorrow. So according to that, they are set for it. So जो commute time होता है किसी place पे जाने के लिए, that is reduced a bit because students are knowing where they have to go. So they quickly keep their bags and they reach there. They make a line, they make a circle, and they're ready with it. Whatever the material has to be brought, that is previously informed. So that entire time is reduced. And more often,
Yeah, I
we
think that's
plan.
I think that's very interesting, Swati, because if that happens, and because children are wanting to, look forward to these activities, and they also look forward to the next day because then they know that okay, what's coming up. So I think yeah, that's a great strategy, and it will bring in a lot of excitement. And अगर बच्चे सही समय पे पहुंच जाएंगे पहले से ही, I think it will save a lot of time. At least 5 to 7 minutes of time will be saved if that is informed prior. Great.
Yes.
You were saying something else also, yeah.
No, the Gunjan ma'am has completed the point that we share the requirements in weekly planner many a time, and there is a reminder also being sent on WhatsApp groups if it is needed. Like
Great, 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 great. Yeah, and I think someone also talks about that the cluster Sanghamitra is also a really, really nice way of bringing the different classes together. Yeah, and maybe somebody would, Sadia, yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
Yes, I would like to answer your question with the time constraint. Yes, very much so. Having said that we are all planned and prepared. Children are never getting enough to be on the ground or the enjoyment that they have had. So it's always, children do feel that we should have been getting that extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, though we plan according to the 25 minutes along with the reflection questions, but then a race like caterpillar race or a football match definitely would exceed for 5 to 10 minutes. So for activities like such, we do feel like we could have at least had an hour probably or 45 minutes to utilize such activities,
Right. Okay, I think another question, I'll just draw out what Kalpana Singh ma'am writes, and I'll maybe convert that into a question because that's interesting. How do we how are you guys thinking of cluster Sanghamitra? Is there a problem that you're solving with a cluster Sanghamitra? You notice a problem that's happening in the wing, and that's where you plan a cluster Sanghamitra, or how is it? What is the thought process behind the cluster Sanghamitra? Anybody who wants to answer that? Yeah, go ahead, Sadia.
Yes, initially the idea was actually to get all the sections. We had these sections kids were separated from their friends initially, and they never got a chance to be with their friends. Truly speaking, and it was never a problem at first that we noticed. It was just bringing all the kids together to make them feel that they belong to the same grade, okay, though they are separated by the sections. So we started with that view first, and then slowly analyzing that we need to build the competitive spirit as well. They were competitive as they are divided among the A, B, C as they are representing, but bringing them together as a grade together, kids were separated in grade 10th. So that was our idea first. Diksha ma'am, if you'd like to take over with the idea of the cluster Sanghamitra.
Actually, yeah, thank you, Sadia ma'am. Actually, basically the idea behind Cluster Sanghamitra was bringing them down to a bigger family. For the year long, we worked on them being 10th C, 10th D as a smaller family. Now the idea was to make them apart, to make them accustomed with a bigger mob, with a bigger family of the complete 10th graders, so that they develop all the investments, all the virtues with respect to all the members of the family. So that was the main idea behind Cluster Sanghamitra, so that we all could get them. When we were playing the game of making different shapes, so then we could connect them, all of them together, and they were developing new shapes. So that was a bonding which was developing between so many at the same time. That was the main idea behind it, sir.
All right, great. Thank you, Diksha ma'am. Yes, Kalpana, you have a question?
Sir, I would just like to know from the teachers the challenges faced by them while organizing this activity, Cluster Sanghamitra, like managing the huge strength at a time and within that 40 minutes, the plan to be executed within that time limit. Just need to know
I'll
your challenges so that as a teacher, I could keep that in my mind if I'm planning the same in my school. So just wanted to know about those things.
Shall I answer this question?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Kalpana ma'am, the best idea was this, that when we got the idea of Cluster Sanghamitra from our wing head, all the class teachers, we brainstormed for not less than 3 days together to come down to an idea where we could take the same activity on the ground in only 25 minutes. And the best part of it was that the planning was so foolproof that at 8:24, that is 1 minute to our period to get over, the students were in the lines to move back to their classes. So the basic idea behind this was, the challenge was only that the brainstorming done to come down to only one idea, where we all thought of what should be the time constraint, which activity the students will enjoy the most, and what investment can we share through this activity. Keeping all these three things in mind, we could come down to only one idea, and that we implemented. Second thing, when we had to give them the group leaders, as Sadhya ma'am said, so the group leaders were made, they were instructed. It was not given by the teachers, but the students were instructed that tomorrow morning in the reflection time, that is by the end of the day, they were told that tomorrow morning we are going to do an activity in the ground in which each class should have 4 group leaders. So please decide amongst themselves. So that was again a planning done a day prior, which helped us to carry out the activity in time. And all the teachers could handle the 10th graders very comfortably.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And would like to know if you are planning this for grade 3 to 5. So please let us know so that we can get an idea regarding that also. Thank you very much for sharing your challenges.
Okay, I think I'll take a moment and ask this question to everybody. In the chat box, I'm sure all campuses have been doing Sanghamitra, Confab, and Samurja. In the chat box, one uh, uh, share one activity that you have done in this time which have stood out for you, and also write why that stood out for you. And also when you write that, make sure that central website पे इसका plan uploaded होना चाहिए. So one activity that you have conducted that you really liked and children learned something from it, and why do you think that you really like that? Okay, let's put that in the chat box. And I'm going to invite 2 people randomly to come and share also. Okay, please also write why. Please also write why are you writing that activity. Ashwini, I would also like you to share the central website and show to everybody where the Sanghamitra activities are located on the central website, so that they can see from each other's. Okay. So Bharti ma'am has given a response of giving adjectives to their friends, and it helped children appreciate their friends, and children were very happy. Okay, great. That's a great takeaway. Okay, Pallavi ma'am says making group on the basis of birth, month, and performing an activity. Aarti Pathak, would you like to share your screen and show the central website also again? Okay,
Yes, sir.
Jayashree talks about the cluster Sanghamitra. All right. I am assuming that everybody else is typing and the chat blocks will soon be getting flooded.
So it is here in the central website. If we go next to the lesson plan template in the more, learning principles are there, and then Confab or Sanghamitra folders are here.
Yeah, can you please also open up a few folders and just see?
Doing it.
Yes, let's see, because a lot of times I get a feedback from many teams that we are not able to see if we can see if there's some resources missing. This will give a idea to everybody that we need to upload also. Okay.
So we have these planners over here.
All right, all right. So some planners are here from the Varanasi team. Brilliant.
Some of them are in logged mode. If it could be opened, it would be great.
Yes, yes. I think to some of, so can you just identify, let's just take names. I'm just taking the names for purpose that in case it is locked, it will get opened up.
So those which are looking in the logged mode, that small lock is visible. So names could not be seen, but if we could open it, it could be opened up for everyone. It would be great.
Dear team, make sure that whenever you upload documents on the central website, it should be unlocked. Okay, people should be able to, everyone with a link के लिए visible होना चाहिए वो. Nasik team, please make sure to upload your Sanghamitra documents. We cannot see any Sanghamitra documents. Nagpur team, please upload your documents. We can only see grade 7. So please upload your Sanghamitra documents. It will, आप जो अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, it will go to the other campuses also. And it will give you a lot of joy to see कि भाई आप जो काम कर रहे हैं, वो दूसरी जगह भी हो रहा है, and you are making a much larger impact, right? So it will give you a lot of joy. So please make sure that these documents that you upload are in unlock mode with open access for everyone. Okay, a lot of documents, a lot of Samuda documents are uploaded for grade 7 in Nagpur. Well done. Thank you for that. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Nasik team. I think that was a great presentation. Some amazing stuff happening with the Sanghamitras. And I'm sure children are finding learning very exciting, engaging, and they are looking forward to the next day.
Thank you, sir. Teachers, I would like you to just open up the Padlet link, if you can, and reflect on the experiences and insight that you gained during the session. Those who have not yet put their thoughts in the Padlet link, I request you all to please share your thoughts. It's in the chat box.
Prathika, are you getting feedback from teachers in the Padlet?
No, it's suggestions and the takeaways from the of the session is there. That's all, not the feedback.
Okay. So even teachers, I'm sharing a feedback form as well. Please fill that as well.